Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. And I'm here today with Jim Mochoruk and Lynette Krenelka, who are co-chairing our Strategic Planning Committee. And we thought we'd give you a quick update as we begin the fall semester about what's been going on with strategic planning. So thanks so much for being here.
It's our pleasure.
And let's start with Lynette. So Lynette, what's been happening with the strategic plan and since the last time that we had tuned in on one of these videos?
We have had a lot going on. This summer we held 50 focus groups with a number of different audiences, and that feedback has been just wonderful. We had our 7 working groups provide their final reports with recommendations, action plans. So now our Strategic Planning Committee will be taking that information and putting it into a final strategic plan. And then our Strategic Planning Committee has been so busy with drafting our new mission, vision, and core values. So it's been a very busy summer.
Wow, anything you can share about the mission, vision, and core values, and how are they going to be shared with the campus community?
So the mission, vision, and core values will be shared with the university community this week. So we're so excited. We have been working really hard to get this out, and we're going to be putting those on the UND website in addition with a survey, so people can still give us feedback. So again, we're so excited that we're at this point where we can finally share broadly with what we've been working on.
I know everybody probably appreciates the chance to give feedback, but the amount of feedback has been absolutely extraordinary. So thanks to everybody for contributing, but we're not through with the feedback, so keep the comments coming. Right, exactly. Yeah. And Jim, before we go any further, I'm going to put you on the spot for a moment, and can you remind our audience of the 7 areas of focus that the working groups were keying in on?
Absolutely. We had UND Community, Climate, and Culture, Creativity, Discovery, and Innovation, Collaboration and Engagement, and 2 student groups, student focus groups, Student Success through Academic Excellence, Student Success Beyond the Classroom, and then Valuing and Supporting UND Employees that we're really excited about as a category, and Fostering Equity and Inclusive Excellence. So those are the 7 categories.
Interesting. So those are 7 categories, but will those be the same 7 categories that actually become the key elements of the strategic focus areas?
I'm glad you asked, because we've been emphatic from the get-go that although we were identifying these 7 areas that came up through the course of all our research that were really important and needed more research, more input, but we also knew that best practices indicated we should have a lesser number of actual core principles, or whatever we want to call them, pillars, whatever. And so we're really looking at having something between 3 and 5. And so we know that those 7 that we just outlined are probably not going to, certainly not with the language that's describing them right now, are probably not going to be those pillars. But the work and the ideas and the action plans that go into it will definitely be there.
Yeah, it's sometimes like when you write, you get a lot of great ideas, and when we're writing papers or authoring anything, the real trick is how do you winnow it down to the final product, right? And so how do we bear the tax so that the readers don't have to, right? So this is really, sounds like great work. And what about the timeline going forward?
Okay, well actually, and I'm pretty sure I'm accurate on this, just before I left my office I saw that today's UND Today actually had made available the core values, mission, and vision statement. We want feedback on this, and we have phenomenal support, folks. We're going to be linking this to a Qualtrics survey so that people can give us their feedback on it. But then September is all about bringing together a draft, and I want to stress a draft of what's going to be the strategic plan. We're bringing this material together. We feel pretty good about what we've done with the mission, vision, and core values. We have a lovely introduction that we're not quite ready to share yet with people. There'll be a preamble to the document. But then bringing together all the work from the 7 work groups. That's what we're doing. We're right now in the process of bringing these together into a more manageable number. We can't give you the exact names, because right now it sounds very much like the core values. We're learning, discovery, service, belonging, and DEI-JA. Now, are those all going to make the final cut? We're not sure, but those are our temporary placeholders, and we're seeing which parts of the 7 different wonderful reports that we got, how they would fit in areas that we might be missing, and we hope that by the end of the month we're going to have something to share with a much larger community, because after that we're just going to start gathering feedback on what we've done, and after that, once we get that feedback, then we're going to take November to come up with what we hope is going to be a great final or very close to final draft. And we'll still be running it past as many people as possible. We need as much feedback as possible. So.
Nice. And when you described those, I couldn't help but think of promoting the connections between all the members of our campus, right? And how do we make that as rich as possible? And then, in addition, how do we create that, and I think I've heard you say this before, that sense of wonder, right? That you walk onto the UND campus and you just have this sense of some remarkable things happening across the entire campus. So it's exciting. And Lynette, back to you. You've engaged with a lot of people, it sounds like, but can you describe that engagement? How has it been across the campus, and any surprises there?
I think we have just been so pleasantly surprised that the engagement has been so wonderful across all peoples, all different organizations, whether it's faculty, staff, students, administration, legislators across the state. We've had alumni from across the globe that have participated in focus groups, our work groups. It has just been amazing how much people really want to get involved in this process, and they want to stay involved. So we're excited that we're at a point where we are going to get additional feedback, and the commitment that people are putting into this process is it's just been amazing. Yeah.
Nice. Great to see that energy come forward. But I think we talked early on about having this as a product, as a design for the future, as described by the members of the campus, and that's exactly what's emerged.
Yeah.
It's also been, just to add to this, I mean, the idea that we've had over 200 people working in the work groups. I mean, this is remarkable. All volunteers, and they've been so incredibly helpful in opening up doors for us and giving us perspectives. In many ways, the work groups also serve as focus groups.
Right.
They're so wonderfully representative of so many different interests and so many different parts of our constituency.
It's going to be difficult for us to get everything that we've gathered into what the strategic plan, the initial strategic plan, and we're definitely going to be developing a separate document where, once maybe some of the initial priorities are done, there's going to be ongoing priorities that can be discussed, can be assessed as to how do we get all this information into, and make sure that it's not lost, because people have given their time and energy into this process.
A lot of time and a lot of energy, and you two in particular. So let me say thank you to both of you for your commitment to this and to seeing it through, and for the great leadership that you've shown to so many.
You're welcome. Yeah, thank you.
And folks, tune in next time for, at least with these two, when we give the next update on our strategic planning efforts. And I certainly know and appreciate the amount of effort that's gone in across the campus. And I'm thrilled with what I heard today, and I'm thrilled to see what the next product is that we get, which is first draft coming out in September.
Which is this month.
Did you see the panic on their faces? There we go. Until next time, crowd, we'll see you around campus, and enjoy the fall semester and the remaining days of warmth and summer. So we'll talk to you soon.